So I think Coco answered my question on her Q&A video. This is another episode of what a weird intro. Okay, this is another episode of the Dare Show podcast. I want to dare you to look at things through a different point of view, which is my point of view. So let's get started. So a couple of weeks ago, but nobody answered, of course. But I was like, SWV fans, do you like when you cry versus rain? Not even do you like. Which one is better in your opinion? And nobody really answered because I really liked when you cry. Like I said, I like when you cry. Rain was the number one, was hitting it number one for many, many months until I finally listened to When You Cry. And so I was like trying to get, SWV to answer. And Coco, I think I said this, Coco had did a video on IG, and I just kept asking. And then she didn't answer it. So then I listened to, she asked everybody to ask questions on her IG so she can do a video Q&A. And so I think she picked my question because in the beginning of her video she's singing When You Cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She answered my question. So then I'm rushing to watch the video. I play the video. It gets to 11 minutes and the video malfunctions. And it's it's not on my end. Coco, please go back. I don't know, because I think some people saw the whole video through, but I wasn't able to. And I think she answered my question, and I think she picked When You Cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm just kind of freaking out about that. But Coco did a really cute Q&A. She talked about being a plant mom, being a gay mom. She talked about being single. She looks gorgeous, and it's a really entertaining video because Coco has she has a little flair to her, and she has a really funny, fun flair to her, and it makes the video very interesting. So shout out to Coco, shout out to SWV. What's next? Okay, so also talking about interviews and stuff, Vicky Winans, who I'm not a huge fan, but of her, I'm such a huge fan of her based off of just two songs, Long As I Got King Jesus, and I do a couple of other songs by her. But Long As I Got King Jesus is my favorite Vicky Winans song. I think I said this when I did the Destined to Win, or some months ago when I talked about Karen. I was when I was growing up, on Sunday mornings, Bobby Jones gospel music, or whatever it was called, would always play in the mornings. And the two artists I vividly remember watching and enjoying so much was Long As I Got King Jesus and Balm and Gilead. And yeah, Vicky has such a very interesting story. She's such a funny person. Hilarious. Her jokes are so funny. She's such a passionate person. She's such a loving person. She's such a giving person, as she says. And yeah, she did an interview with Larry Reed. And she was just talking about everything from her mom to the Clark sisters to her marriages to her sons and the daughter she lost, and how Detroit did her wrong or something. I was kind of confused about that part, but they bamboozled her, and just so much, just such a funny lady. So if you're able to watch it, go watch it. If you're a big fan of Vicky. Oh, also Vicky, she's kind of low-key going viral, and I'm Vicky, she's kind of into social media, but not really. Mostly Instagram, and she'll make a post, and she'll give you a 3-page story. But I'm some of her People have made her like memes, like little clips that she's done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope she sees this because I know she would just love this, crack up about it, and just enjoy like kind of going viral. Like I know she's one of those cool celebrities. So yeah. One thing I did not know was that the album was that an actual article or was that Billboard? I think Billboard might have said it, or maybe was it Billboard or was it some random fan page from Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett? They were like, Gaga's album is supposed to be coming out the end of July. Well, child, it's August 4th. Knock, knock, knock. Hello, Stephanie. Where's this album? And all of a sudden, I guess yesterday a single was released, so I just ran and rushed and listened to the single. The album is called Love for Sale, and I'm guessing it's going to be released in like October, because the CD sale was like October 14th. But I'm like, child, I'm trying to wait till October to listen to this damn album. Okay, but anyways, the first thing single is called "I Get a Kick Out of You." I don't know any of these songs on this jazz album. I ran through the list. Yeah, I don't know any of the songs, but Gaga sounds great in this new single. Her voice is so very powerful. She's in good voice. And then it's like a slow balladly start type song, and then it becomes like an up-tempo quick song. Very interesting. I don't really have any complaints besides it's like a little too long in my opinion. It's just a little too long, like 33 seconds too long. But other than that, shout out to Gaga. Nobody's talking about it. That's why I'm so confused. Like nobody's talking about it. Like literally one person on my timeline was talking about the single, well, not even the single. They were talking about the album being able to be pre-ordered. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like I didn't see a tweet. Spotify didn't say here's a new single. Like what is going on? Is this about to flop? I don't know. It's giving me flop tease, but we'll see. Halo. I had some thoughts about Halo this week. And, everybody kind of hates Halo. I kind of do enjoy Halo. Every now and then I'll be like, okay, can we skip this? Because I think, the last couple of weeks I've been listening to a lot of live Beyonce. And Halo. Let's just get to the Halo. So Halo, as we know, is Beyonce's most successful selling single. And I was thinking, and I'm like, boom, I got it. I know why it's her most successful single. It is Beyonce's love song. Her first love song as a single. Ballad. It's pretty much a ballad. Mid-tempo ballad. But the thing is, the song is a song that everybody can resonate with. I was trying to think, like, what was, like, most of her singles are, like, dance singles or, like, up-tempos. But this was, like, her first ballad single that could resonate with everybody. I was thinking, Me, Myself, and I off of Dangerously in Love. But that's sort of like, a relationship cheating type song. Irreplaceable, another relationship cheating type song. Crazy in Love, Baby Boy, Naughty Girl, those were the singles off of Dangerously in Love. And then B-Day, there was Deja Vu, Upgrade You. I think Green Light was one. Get Me Bodied. And Irreplaceable. And then you get to I Am Sasha Fierce. And then here we go again, just thinking about, If I Were a Boy. If I Were a Boy was like number 2 or 3 on the charts. I think Halo was like 2 or 3 also, if not like 4. But it's so interesting how like a song can, well, I understand how a song can, at the end of the day, sell like 50 million records, but only get to like number 4 or 5, because throughout the years people discover things, people lose music, and then continue to buy music, or continue to buy and support songs. So I understand that, but it's so interesting how Super Bass is probably like Nicki Minaj's top selling single, but it hit like number 4 or 5 or something like that on the Billboard Hot 100. So it's so interesting, that aspect that I see. But Halo, to me, I think, is Beyonce's number one song because it resonated with everybody. That was her ballad at the time. Not even like putting in like those are wonderful vocals, great lyrics. She delivers live every time. It's become her staple song. But it's in a different category, single wise, especially because a lot of her singles, like I said, were up tempos. Like, and not to say she didn't have. I'm not even saying that she didn't have that she didn't have love songs as singles, ballad love songs in general, but it was still earlier in her career, and she kind of wasn't doing that, as I see. B-Day was a very much party record. There's only like 2 ballads on B-Day, Resentment, which they say, I remember this one reviewer was like, this lady is over saying the song, and I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. She was in her, vocal bag back then. But yeah. What do you think about Halo? I know a lot of people don't like Halo. So before I take a break, I want to talk about Mariah. So Mariah did like a little Twitter space, and some things that we found out. We all have been wondering what's going on with MC30. MC30 stopped at E equals MC squared. She has like 2 or 3 more albums to push through. We're going to see. She was like, it's taking a long time for them to get everything together to present or put out, whatever. So like, okay, so we're waiting on label stuff. Another thing is she's working on new Christmas music along with regular music for her next album. I think her 16th album. And I'm like, okay. Like, I feel like the fans kind of hyped her up to do this. I don't know if there's a lot of money in this Christmas thing, or she just like is enjoying doing this. But I'm like, Christmas music is not what I want right now from Mariah. Like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'll listen to it, but I'm like, I'm not really going to Mariah for Christmas music like that. Although I'm not taking away from her incredible When Christmas Comes. Like, I think that's one of my favorite. That's absolutely my favorite Christmas song. Without the John Legend version, no John Legend on the version. I can't. But When Christmas Comes is my favorite. But I'm just like, nobody's coming for you for Christmas music. And so she's like always asking her fans, like, and this is like the 100th time she's asked them or tried to get their opinion on what male artist she should work with next. And they're always throwing out these random ass names. And then she's like, no, I don't, because she did the Twitter space and she's talking to people. First of all, Mariah I don't know if she like thought she was on Zoom, but I'm like, Twitter space isn't a Zoom call, ma'am. It's it's like an audio thing, lady. And so she's always asking them, and they're always putting out, Bruno Mars and The Weeknd and Miguel, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Anderson .Paak, like they're just naming any male artist at this point. They're not even like giving us good quality male artistry. Singers. And she's like, no guys, I don't want it. No, I'm not talking about like regular. I'm talking about for this Christmas song, because I'm working on this Christmas song. It is fantastic and it's very soulful. And I'm like, child, I don't know. Just hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up. Okay, so the movie is happening. Because she was like, I was talking to Lee Daniels about this one part of me playing All Alone in Love, or it's called Alone in Love. Probably the best song off of her debut album, in my opinion. Besides Love Takes Time. I think Love Takes Time is up there. Vision of Love is really good, but I think All Alone in Love, All Alone in Love, I'm late to the game, but All Alone in Love is popping, baby. It's popping. Okay, so she was like, yeah, I was like on my mom's piano playing All Alone in Love, or like trying to create the song. And I'm like, okay, so this movie is happening. Hopefully we get who's going to play Mariah? Who is going to play Mrs. Carey? I don't know. That's going to be such an interesting point of view. An interesting character. Because it has to be a character. And then they have to be able to evolve into from Mariah to Mariah. Like from 94 Mariah, 91 Mariah to 2000, 2001 Mariah, 2005 Mariah. And then it's like, how long is this movie going to be? Wait, is this a mini-series? Is this a TV series? Like, okay, now we need... Okay, wait, I'm asking too many questions. This is none of my business. We just got to give it to us good with the looks, the acting. Sometimes I don't think they're gonna pick somebody well known. I feel like you have to pick some of these movies. They really need people that are not known. Anyways, but yeah, she's working on new music. And on that note, I'm gonna take a break. And when I come back, oh shit! Oh my gosh, I didn't. Oh my gosh. When I come back, I'm going to talk about groups and the Clark sisters. Be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back. This is the Dare Show podcast. You can follow me pretty much on YouTube. Leave a comment on YouTube. If you want, I'm probably, like I said last week, I'm going to stop posting on Instagram, but it's My Love Money Tonight. Though I probably should. If you want to follow or leave a comment, whatever. One thing I did love that Coco said in her little like Q&A video that is still messed up. She was like, she struggles with the words, singing. They were like, what do you struggle with most while singing? And she's like, well, first of all, it's the words. Secondly, she tries to keep up her voice. Because she's like, I'm 51, I'm older. And I think her friend said, sopranos, they have a difficult time sustaining their soprano because like a 10 to 15 year span, your soprano declines. And she's like, I don't want to decline. So she's like, she's always working on her voice. She's always practicing and keeping her voice in good shape and keeping her voice up. And it's like, of course you can hear a difference, but Coco still sounds really great. Still sounds really amazing. What's next? So the Clark sisters. The Clark sisters, like I said last week, I think, or a couple of weeks ago, the Clark sisters, in my opinion, had such a great, and it's so sad now that I even think about it because the era is over, or pretty much over, and the time period for them to be acknowledged for the return, it's an interesting name. The time period for them to be acknowledged for the return is pretty much dwindling down and pretty much over at this point. It's for like award season. The Stellar Awards came on Sunday, and I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know they were getting the Jane. Wait, who is it? Um, Crap. I was gonna say James Beard, but that is not the name. James Cleveland, maybe. Maybe it's James Cleveland Award, and it's like the top award. Is it? No, it's like not even the top award. It's like the legendary award. Give it to the legends for legending. And it's there. They got that. They got that award. So I'm like, okay, is this to make up for not for not nominating them for like best album of the year? Because, like I said, it's such a great album, and they're like I said, they're really besides like Little Mix and like SWV. They're the only like girl groups out here. But in terms of like harmonies, still giving us great songs. Still giving us looks. Okay. Dorinda had the little like red hair with the red eyebrows. Dorinda looked amazing. The Clark sisters are really still the only ones out here killing it in the girl group community. But they got that award, and they sang a little medley of their hits and new songs. But it was kind of enjoyable and kind of not, because the Clark sisters need time. They need, not that they can't give it to you in 2 minutes, but I prefer them giving us the whole song. Come on, Karen. Come on, Dorinda. Come on, Jackie. Come on, Twinkie. Give us the songs. But yeah, it was a quick, little medley. But the thing was, to me, was that the background vocalist, like, everything sounded out of whack. Like, I could not out of whack, but it was just like the background, it just sounded like 10 more people added onto them, and you couldn't really hear the Clark sisters. Now, like I did say, like, I saw the video, like, a while back, like, I think it was, like, last month, when they taped the Stellar Awards. I'm like, why isn't this stuff live? But anyways, when they taped the Stellar Awards, there was like video, and we saw a video of them, and then there you could hear them, but like this like live, not live, this maybe edited version or contrived version, whatever, you couldn't really hear them. But like I said, shout out to the Clark sisters. They got that top award. Dorinda was like, this is our gospel Grammy. And she was like, they were really appreciative of the award. I'm really thankful to the creator of the Stellar Awards, and thankful to the award itself and what it means to them and their mother and everything else. But yeah, was this, like, I didn't know they were getting this award, but I was like, was this, to not nominate them? Because they should have been nominated. Anyways, so I think second to last on my list, I don't think I like key lime pie. I think I love the idea of key lime pie. I love the idea of this like key lime and this luxurious and different fruit turning into a dessert. But I made key lime pie once, and I didn't like it that much. And then I just ordered one, and like the first bite was like, wait a minute, hate it. What's going on here? It's like so fucking tart. I like the crust. The crust is so good. I was trying to eat the crust really, but it was like runny, and it just wasn't it. So I'm gonna hold off on the key lime pie. But I have this thing about this thing came up on Billboard, and they were talking about, what's his name? Lance Bass, and they were talking about Justin Timberlake. It's the 20th album of their 20th anniversary of their album Celebrity. Shout out, this is NSYNC, right? Yeah, I think this is NSYNC. Or is it the back? No, it's NSYNC. They all look alike, so forgive me. And they're not really of my timeline generation. Like, I was like 3 or 4 when they came out. But yeah, it was their 20th anniversary, and people were like, either Lance was like, "Where is Justin?" or people were like, "Where's Justin?" And on Instagram, Justin was like, he pretty much blamed it on having kids because he was like unavailability, and he was like, when you, because I think Lance is trying to have kids, and he's like, when you know, have your kids, you're gonna understand this unavailability thing. So I'm like, okay, you're always unavailable, whatever, Justin. And so I was just like thinking, like, what is it with these groups? Once once one person becomes solo, why don't they ever want to like work, not even work, like appear or do like a 5 minute reunion on like a TV show? Like, why don't they ever want to do, why did they have to like separate themselves so much? Like, you were like, and literally these groups are together for less than 10 years. They're together for like 6 years, 5 years at the most. And then you want to like branch off and do other things. Yes, you have had other success, but people love reunions and people love groups, and groups were so popular in the 90s. And it's just like, Diana, Diana, she just, that's the other thing with Coco. She did this Instagram live with her friend, and her friend was like, Diana, Diana had this issue with not being, like, much like Coco or something like that, not being paid her worth when she was doing so much in a group. And I'm just like, I don't think that was Diana's thing. I feel like Diana was chosen to do all the work. She could have said no, but she didn't. Yeah, like, she was chosen to do the work. There were two other people in the group. Mary Wilson, which I can't believe she's gone. Mary Wilson, gorgeous woman. I'm not sure about her voice, but they say, Florence Ballard had a very wonderful voice. And I'm just like, that's the other thing. Why do, like, a lead singer, why do they have to sing everything lead? Like, I love the dynamic of the singing in Bootylicious. Kelly starting it off, Bees on the pre-chorus and leading the chorus. Michelle's on the, like, that's a perfect dynamic of how to switch it up with like lead. Survivor, you heard a lot of Beyonce. Okay, but anyways, I feel like at this point Beyonce is kind of the only person to say, "Hey, girls," and I think that's because they really are like friends. They really are family. I think that's probably why. Even though, Mary Wilson, Diana Ross, and Florence, they all grew up together. I'm not sure about NSYNC. I don't know. I don't know about NSYNC, so I'm not going to go there. But even the Clark sisters, they get back together. They do an album. They do separate solo projects. It's so weird. It's weird. And Tina Knowles, she's always posting on like Instagram. We love Miss Tina on Instagram. She has like 3 million followers. We love Miss Tina. She's always clapping back. She's always telling us what's good. She's always giving us cute stories and fun stories and her little corny jokes and her gorgeous hair. She's always killing it. I think she's in her late 60s. She's doing amazing. She's wonderful Miss Tina. But Miss Tina, I feel like she's low-key hinting of a Destiny's Child reunion because she's always talking about Destiny's Child. She's always giving support to people, to women, to everybody. Her daughter, she's always posting about so much. It's just so funny and entertaining and very lovely. And I feel like she's what Beyonce definitely doesn't do. She's always, posting about Kelly and Michelle, but I feel like she's low-key hinting to like a Destiny's Child reunion, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. I kind of feel like she is. But also, like, why don't these groups get back together? They feel like they have to, like, I get back together, but like even to like a reunion, like you're on Instagram, dude. You can't just post for like 5 seconds, get on Instagram Live for 5 minutes with your fellow former bandmates. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're not that fucking busy. Okay. But anyways, this is the 33rd episode of the Dare Show podcast. I know some of these episodes are horrible. Some of them are really good. I'm enjoying it still, though. Thank you for listening. If you want to, I'm everywhere. Listen everywhere. Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube, The Dare Show Podcast. Leave a comment if you like. If you want to subscribe, if you like, go ahead. Do what you want to do. But on this note, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to go, and I'll be back next week. Yeah. And thank you so much for listening.